Hi there, and welcome to this short webinar about loneliness, dealing with difficult feelings and especially the feeling of loneliness. And I'm addressing this topic because it's one that in the group Permission to Be You, it's come top of the poll of issues that people are most struggling with. And would really like to hear about. So, welcome, and I really hope that you hear something here that is useful to you. And please let me know. So let me know what your specific struggles are, if I address them here, or whether I don't. And, I can come back to them and support you in whatever way I can, because that's really what I'm aiming to do here, is just to be here for you, to be a resource for you, to help you to deal with any of those difficulties that that are your sticking points right now. Loneliness and difficult feelings, and I know that this is probably an issue for people, because a lot of people in the group are experiencing an empty nest, that youngsters have headed off for pastures new, and that's a huge shift in our lives, isn't it? That something that took so much time, even if in later years maybe we haven't been spending so much time actively with them, but just being there for them, doing all those things in the background, the cleaning, the cooking, and the washing and all of that, it just kind of takes a big chunk in our lives. And while we might sometimes kind of rather not be doing the laundry or whatever it is, it's inevitable that when those the youngsters have left home and we're not spending the time with them anymore, we've got so much time freed up. But so often we're not really able to enjoy that, because we're sort of consumed with these difficult feelings. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. And I think the first thing I really want to say is that it's entirely natural to have those feelings, and it's a kind of a loss, isn't it? And it's just part of who we are, of the human condition, that we experience this range of feelings. And almost the problem, we see it as a problem that we've got, that we're experiencing those feelings. And almost the problem isn't that we experience those feelings. The problem is that we think we shouldn't be feeling those feelings, that we want to not feel those feelings. And it kind of seems obvious that of course we'd rather not be feeling unpleasant feelings rather than pleasant feelings. But actually there's something in there that's absolutely key to getting more out of our lives, which is that we don't need to try and get rid of any feelings. Once we really understand that, where our feelings come from, and that's just a natural way of being. Because, our feelings are created from the thought that's going through our head. And if we've got lonely and unhappy thoughts, then we'll be experiencing lonely and unhappy feelings. And that's just the way it is. And, there are lots of techniques out there for how to manipulate our thoughts and our feelings, our thoughts, so that we might feel differently. And, more positive thinking, getting rid of the negative ones, having the more positive ones, and all of that. And, I'm sure there's some benefit in that. But I think there's a step beyond that, which is much, much more powerful, because while we're engaging in that doing, that kind of changing feelings, it's hard work, all of that, isn't it? And once we're in a really difficult place, we just haven't got the energy to do that, and everything comes flooding back. So what I'm pointing to really is not trying to change any thoughts or feelings, but really seeing thoughts and feelings for what they are, for transitory things that pass through us, and that is entirely as it should be and how the system is designed. And it seems to me that when things start to go wrong is when we start grabbing onto those thoughts and deciding there's something wrong with them. So that kind of, why am I feeling like this? I don't want to feel like this. This is a bad way to feel. How can I be more positive? How can I get myself out of this? That's all another layer of thinking that just crowds into our heads and actually exacerbates the problem rather than making it better. And it's that desperation not to be in the situation we're in, feeling what we're feeling, that kind of creates another whole layer of difficulty for us. And so, you know, an insight into the fact that whatever our thoughts and feelings, they are passing. They pass through us. We will feel what thinking's going through our head at this moment, and that's how it is. But no thought stays around forever. And if we don't attribute a whole lot of meaning to that thought that's going through our head, it's much easier for it just to go. But we do tend to give it meaning, you know, so that loneliness that might come after children have left home, on top of that, we then interpret that with all this sort of, well, that's it, they're never coming back. So what if I always feel like this? Or, you know, I should be able to get over this. What, I thought I was a stronger person than this. You know, another whole there sort of self-criticism, or just, you know, this isn't how I wanted my life to be, but oh, it's too late now, and what can I do? And, you know, it's just, this is all extra stuff that we burden ourselves with on top of that basic feeling of, do you know what, I feel lonely right now, but I might not feel lonely tomorrow. But we don't really give ourselves that opportunity because we're so busy giving it meaning and deciding that, well, if I'm lonely now and the kids have left home, then that's it, I'll always be lonely. It's just not true. That's our interpretation of what's happening. So, you know, just seeing how that system works and seeing that we will be feeling whatever's going through our head at any particular moment, but that left to its own devices, that system just flows through and flows through, and nothing actually stays around that long. And if your experience is that things really stay around a long time, I wouldn't be at all surprised if you're giving them an awful lot of attention, even if that attention is of the type of, how can I get rid of this? But, you know, that's attention too. And knowing that this is just part of how you work, and that you can feel those feelings and be okay. And at some point you won't feel them anymore. If you can come from that place, everything starts to look much, much easier. So I haven't had any questions from anybody about this topic at the moment, but please feel free to post them below the video, and I'm really happy to discuss this further with you. And of course, this area is something that we will really be exploring in my new program, Permission to Be You, which has just launched yesterday. So if this is something that you would really like to explore further, that is the ideal way to start to do that. It's a group program, so just 12 weeks of group calls. And one of the amazing things about these kinds of programs is the community that is established of like-minded people who've got similar issues going on. So, you know, chatting in the Facebook group is lovely, but if you want a deeper engagement, if you want to make new friends and contacts who are at the similar stage of life to you and experiencing similar difficulties, and, you know, to be able to grow through this stage together into a more dynamic and energized and inspired place in your life, then please, please join me, because that is exactly what this program's all about. And I just really want to point you back towards what you've got going for you, because I know you have, because we all have so much potential for the new, the creative, the inspirational, when we let go of our habitual thinking and our assumptions about what our thinking means, and our assumptions and stories about ourselves. So, you know, and this is an understanding that's made so much difference to me over the last few years, that I'm just really, really inspired to share it with you all. So you can have a look on the link below, find out a bit more about that. And if you'd like to talk to me about it, then please get in touch. I'd love to have a conversation with you. So please ask any questions you'd like to, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now.